outside looked. It was a clear day when the levees broke. It was big clear. It was big clear. And the levees just kaboom. And then water came rushing, bitch. Yeah, they fucked over New Orleans. For sure, for sure. And guess what got repaired first? The French quarters. That's the first thing they started working on. They didn't start working on nothing first but the French quarters. The French quarters is how the city make money. It's not the only thing why the city make money, but a lot of tourists come in, and then after the storm, the city became a big old super tourist attraction. That once the storm hit, motherfuckers was fucking booking tourists to go riding in the night wall. I'm just saying, they started making tourist attractions all over New Orleans because of the storm. Hey, boo. Motherfuckers started booking tours to go see the houses that flooded in the night war. Yeah, and right here you can see how many people died in this house. Bitch, it was ridiculous. The most revenue come from the French quarters. The best taxpayers came from the French quarters. Yep, with the X on the house. People explaining to you why they got an X on the house, what the numbers mean, what this number mean. Was it pets? Was it children? Was it adults? Was it this, bitch? It was sad. There definitely was marking houses that didn't even check. Marking houses they didn't even check. They did the inmates so dirty. Child. They did the fucking inmates so dirty. Why did you just stay in New Orleans? Cause what? We ain't have no call. You gotta think about it. Before the storm, for people that lived in New Orleans, like around that time during the storm time, we wasn't wherever we was from. That's where we was at. We wasn't. It's not like oh look, we from the 17th, but I be chilling in the 9th ward. Sometimes I be uptown. Sometimes I be across the river. Sometimes I know, bitch. Wherever you from, that's where you standing. You ain't just sitting at. I mean, unless you got a grandma that stayed downtown, then maybe by your grandma sometimes. But usually, before the storm, nigga wasn't traveling nowhere like that. Nigga wasn't really going all over the city, especially if you ain't had no car. My mom ain't never had no car. The car she did have, I don't know why she bought the car, because she couldn't drive it. I was stealing it. So it didn't make no sense why she had a car. But how was going to evacuate? Around that time, anybody had no money to get them to evacuate. Not to mention, they told us we didn't have to evacuate. That's the main thing. They didn't even give us a heads up. Like, listen, y'all better get the fuck out the city. They want to tell us the day of a fucking hour or two before, I think I need to go. But they was telling us, ride the storm out. Like, y'all gonna be straight. A lot of people did not leave for the storm. A lot of people, we didn't feel like it was gonna be that bad. Like, think about it. We ain't have a big storm since Betsy. We ain't have a big storm literally since Betsy. We ain't flood since Betsy. So nobody's thinking about actually getting up and fucking leaving and going nowhere. Especially the older folks. Think about it. Ain't no older folks ain't nobody in their 50s and 60s and 70s about to get up and evacuate because we might get a little rain, we might get a little water. They were thugging it out. So we didn't think we had to evacuate. No, New Orleans ain't have no bad storm literally since Betsy. Nothing the magnitude of Katrina. A lot of people didn't leave because they couldn't. And nobody had no money to be evacuating to a whole nother city. They ain't got no people living over. Like, a lot of people started going to New Orleans because of the storm. I mean, started going to Houston because of the storm. A lot of if the older folks actually evacuated to Houston, they stayed there. They stayed there. Like, if they was already in their 30s and 40s and probably 50s, they stayed there. They stayed there. They had no reason to come back. A lot of them couldn't come back to nothing, especially if you live downtown. What you coming back to? If you lived in the 9th Ward in the East, it was nothing to come back to. Nothing. You couldn't come back and pick up nothing. Everything was gone. You couldn't pick up shit. It was nothing to come back to. So a lot of people stayed where the fuck they was. But if you was a teenager, you was coming back. New Orleans, all we knew. Imagine at that time, 2005, you got to get up and go to a whole another state and live there, and all you know was New Orleans. Bitch, I want to go home. I don't give a fuck what's going on in the city. I want to go home. That's how I felt. I don't want to stay here, bitch. I want to go home. Or the refugees. They was calling them refugees in Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge has some fucking nerve. Bitch, stop playing with us. Bitch, Baton Rouge has some nerve. Bitch. FEMA played bad too. I remember when I came back to New Orleans, it was 2006. We moved to Houston 2006. We moved to Texas January 1st, 2006 was when we moved. And I came back to New Orleans, I think in March or May. I think it was March. I came back fast. And I stayed in a trailer. Because I remember FEMA was giving out trailers for people to put on their property in case something. And I stayed in the trailer. When I came back, I was going from house to house. I even go stay at my house, but we ain't had no lights. So I go stay at my house sometimes during the day. And then I go stay by my friend's house. I go stay by Bricky. I go stay by, I met this dude on the party line named Word. He was a producer. I go stay by Word in them house. I was living from house to house. My mama had a friend who she used to work with at the zoo. I stayed by her house till I got a job. And then I got my apartment at in Jackson Landing. Cause bitch, I wasn't going back to Texas. Bitch, I was willing to live from house to house, pillow to post, before I go back to some motherfucking Texas. Oh, and I went stay by my best friend at the time, sister house. Her name's Katrina. She stayed in P-Town. I stayed in P-Town the longest, I think. I stayed in P-Town for about a good year. From 18 to 19, I stayed in P-Town. And then when I turned 19, I went stayed on the West Bank. And then I found an apartment. I ain't do nothing. The thing is, when you a teenager, it's not about what they did, because I didn't even live in Houston. I don't know how it would have been if I would have actually lived in Houston and actually went to school in Houston. Once I moved to Texas, I didn't even enroll back in school. I got a job. I had 2 jobs actually. So it wasn't about what Texas did. That wasn't my home. My home was New Orleans. I don't want to be nowhere but home. Imagine trying to move your child that's 16 and all they know is one spot and you moving them way somewhere else. Like, the people want to be home. I just want to be home. Texas ain't do me nothing. I just didn't want to stay there. And again, I didn't experience going to high school in Texas. I didn't experience the Houston people and like mingling with Houston folks. I didn't experience that. Like, yeah, she was. I didn't experience that. I experienced, my sister was going to Clear Lake. There was a lot of Hispanics and white folks. I told my mama, I'm not going to high school out here. I'm not. I'm not. I'm going to stay with you. I'm not going to high school out here. I'm sorry. I'm not. I went found a job. I started working at Long John Silver and Subway. My mama got married. I think she got married that year. She got married that year. She had an apartment in off of Nassau Road 1. I stayed in her apartment and she moved in with her husband. And she told me I had to pay half of the rent. And she paid the rest. And then I lied and told her, I got to go to the doctor. Something wrong. I don't know what's going on in my body. But my doctor in New Orleans and I got to go. And I went and I never came the fuck back. I left all my shit in Texas. And then I met up with Bricky. I met Bricky on a party line. So look, me and Bricky went to Green together, but we wasn't cool at Green. We wasn't cool at that school. We went to Green together, but we wasn't friends. I met Bricky on a party line. From us both rapping on the party line. And then we was beefing on the party line too. And then we got cool from the party line. And I remember I used to talk to her while I was in Texas, and I said, when I'm about to leave Texas, and I'm about to come down there. And she was like, let me know when you come down here so we can meet up. Like, we became best friends over the phone. Me and Bricky became best friends over the phone. And when I got to New Orleans, I think she was the first person I met up with. I met up with Bricky. And me and her stayed in a trailer with 2 niggas. Never forget. We was big thugging. I ain't have no job. Living from pillow to post. I stayed by her mama. Or we'll go to the trailer. Me and Bricky ended up finding a job at a nursery. We worked there for a little while. We ain't liked it. Then we found a job it was called Nola Deliveries. We was delivering food. This was before Uber Eats. Before Uber Eats, they had a place, they had like a little spot. These 2 college girls who went to Tulane. These 2 white college girls, they went to Tulane. They came up with a business called Nola Deliveries. And they was doing these little contracts with the restaurants around Uptown, and they was like, we'll deliver food for y'all. Let people order through us. We'll deliver the food for y'all, and they was getting a percentage. And we was their deliver drivers. And then me and Bricky started working there, and Bricky got her brother to work there, and we worked there for a little while. We got cool with the owners at Bayou Hot Wings. We got cool with the people that own Bayou Hot Wings. We still cool with them to this day. From us being delivery drivers. It was just a lot. A lot was just going on. We was really thugging it. Like, then we'll go stay by Word. Me and Bricky go stay by Word. And everybody by Word House, we met on the party line. Everybody who was at Word House, Word used to stay in the 3rd wall. Word got killed too. He used to stay in the 3rd wall. God bless the dead. But everybody that used to sleep at Word House, we met on the party line. Literally. Like, imagine how wild that is to hear today. Like, I'm 17 and I don't know these people. I met them on the phone. I know their name. Like, we like, that's why I really can understand social media shit so much, because these people, like, I didn't know their real names. I only knew their party line names. Like, nobody called me right now. They called me 23. Nobody called Bricky Bernica. They called her Juicy. Like, nobody called, like I'm saying, we was still at her house. I know his real name now, but nobody knew their name. Like, nobody knew each other's name. Like, we only knew each other by our party line names. And we all sleeping in one house. On a 2-bedroom house, bitch, in the 3rd wall. And we don't know each other. We literally only know each other from the party line. Ain't that crazy? Big thugging. Like, bitch, what was I doing? What the fuck was I doing? Like, what was my mama doing? Oh, that's crazy. Anywho, shit was crazy. I remember I was 18 years old, and I was talking to the dude and I got pregnant. My mama sent me that money for an abortion through Western Union so fast. Girl, I ain't never get money sent to me so fast in my life. I called my mama crying, telling her I was pregnant. 18 years old. And she said, what you gonna do? I said, I can't even take care of myself. And she sent me that money. Through Western Union. Through Western Union, bitch.
Ah, fuck.
You tired, okay?
Tired as a bitch. Man, TJ never lost though.
You ready?
Fuck man.
You smell like outside.
Give me
Baby. Oh! That's trifling.
You was on a lot of them? God damn. I was out there for a minute, huh?
Yes, you was. You right, surviving. It was really big thugging. That's what it really was. You know we gotta meet Alex at 8, huh?
Oh, we started doing that? How you ain't been told me? I forgot we had something to do. I gotta go home and take a bath.
You sure do. Ooh, thank God, thank God. But I ain't gonna lie though, that was the highlight of my life. Listen, that was the highlight of my life. I learned a lot around that time. That's why, what the fuck is wrong with him? That's why I say I always been a social person. I always connected with people through, through social outlets. Always did. It definitely made me. Definitely. Did your mom find out? Find out about what? I think I'm not gonna. I think my mama understood. Around that time, she understood that I was gonna do what the fuck I wanted to do. I think because before the storm, I had a job. And before the storm, she had problems with me not going to school because I had a job. I kept getting put out of schools. I'd rather go to work than go to school. Like, I think she just kind of was just tired. Not to take anything, away from her. Like, she raised me well and she did so good with me. But I think she focused so much on Raven because Raven stayed in school. Right? Raven did what the fuck she's supposed to do. And I was just like the troubled one, if that makes sense. And I think she was just tired of dealing with it. So she knew I had me. Like she knew I was gonna take care of myself. She knew I was gonna make sure, like even though I was living wild, she didn't know that. It's not like she knew I'm around here living from house to house, pillar to post. She didn't know that. She just felt like we're not gonna be good. I think that was in her mind. She always checked up on me. She always called me. She always, asked me how I was doing, this, that, and all that. And I told her, oh, I'm fine, I'm this, that. I probably used to lie to her, but I think she had so much faith in me, and she just knew that, like, I got me, I'm gonna say that rebellious. I wasn't in trouble, I was rebellious. I was a real rebellious child. I wanted to do things, and I wanted to do it my way and how I wanted to do it. And I didn't want to, I listened to her, I respected her as a parent, but I just wanted to, I wanted to live my life. Like, Katrina was traumatic for me. Katrina, like, imagine your whole life changing in a blink of an eye. Like, that was different for me. Like, and then I gotta get up and move across the fucking state. Not across the state, but I gotta get up and move. I don't know where I'm going at. I don't know. Like, this is not in my mind, I'm just saying, this is not where the fuck I want to be. And I think she knew that. When I told her I was sick and I had to go to New Orleans and my doctor and all, she knew I was lying. But she ain't stopped me. She knew I was lying, though. And she let me go, and I never went back to Texas. Ever. I ain't never go back. Raven was still living there. Mom was still living there. My mom had moved back home until Trey was like 5, I think.
So we still going?
You want to reschedule?
No, we can do it. I mean,
Which one?
I know you said we was going to do something else out there too, so I don't know. It don't matter. We can do that later.
So, which one?
I don't care.
It's 7:35.
I can take a bath and put on gloves. We got the house by here.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't. We'll make sure my sister come back. I think my sister came back. Same thing. She missed home. She missed home. Raven came back. She got a job. She got into a relationship. Raven stayed. Raven came back and she came back and got on her shit. People don't realize. Yes, people don't realize how traumatized Katrina was. I don't think, especially when you was young. I don't think people understand. You disconnected from your friends, from your family. It was just a huge disconnecting time.
What year Katrina was?
05.
Oh, yeah.
Kennedy is 15. Kennedy was born in 08. How Ray feel about Katrina?
Fuck.
What?
I mean, we was a part of it too. Not like we was immune from it.
That's why they asked me how you feel about it.
Yeah, it fucked us up. We didn't have to get this.
Place, I don't give a fuck.
Oh no, I said it fucked us up. The only thing is we didn't have to get displaced. Like we was just out of school for like 2 months or some shit like that. Like we ain't had to go to a different school and we ain't had to relocate. They had no power for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We stayed in Texas for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Came back and shit just. It took about 2 months to get back to normal, but we got back to normal. The other hurricane fucked us up more than anything. I forgot which one that was. That shit was recent.
Well, you know, yeah, but that was recent.
Yeah, 2012. That one that fucked us up way worse than Katrina.
Ain't nothing fucked y'all up more than Katrina. Nothing.
I'm telling you.
What the category was?
No, it wasn't about the category. We just flooded. Like that bitch flooded everything in the flood. Every fucking thing.
It did?
Fucking right. Nigga, I had an Infinity Q.
No, I'm talking about the car. Talk about
The house?
The house, yeah.
The house, nigga, it was
what the water was?
To like 4 feet of the first floor of the house.
So it was sort of okay again. So like I said, it ain't doing nothing like Katrina.
Mm-hmm. Fuck no, it ain't did damage like Katrina. Hell no. I thought you were saying to us, like, no.
Yeah.
No, ain't nothing ever did more damage than Katrina.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're right, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I can know it by displacing everybody too.
We couldn't believe Katrina. Like, we were looking at the news like, what the fuck? This shit ain't real.
Well, imagine I seeing the news 4 days later.
Oh, we seen the loons as that shit was happening. Like,
Exactly. We didn't see it till 4 days later.
Yeah.
Katrina hit what, on a Sunday?
Yeah, we got the fuck.
Katrina hit on a Saturday night, Sunday. And we got the Baton Rouge Thursday.
Damn, y'all went to Baton Rouge, that's it?
Yeah.
Fuck.
We had to catch a ride with my neighbor. Fuck. We had to beg him to leave. He didn't even want to leave.
Nah, dog, fuck no.
Our family said, look, people saying y'all ain't got no water for like 2 weeks. We're like, 2 weeks?
Fuck.
My mom would, imagine mama, we ain't got no lights.
How your mama ain't love ASAP? That shit was mandatory.
Listen, no, it was not. Why y'all think that? Y'all gotta
It
stop
wasn't
thinking.
mandatory?
No, I don't think I understand. It was not mandatory. They didn't tell us it was mandatory to leave until the day, like a few hours before the storm.
Well, maybe because we under sea level, it was mandatory for us at the time or something. So I think.
No, I wasn't under sea level, period.
No,
but that was making it seem like we could thug it out.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, hey, y'all gotta get up and go. If y'all don't go, fuck you. It wasn't like that.
Man, I
And
just.
then think about it, man. 05, like, everybody can't just get up and evacuate around that time.
Yeah, you right.
Everybody ain't got money like that.
No, you right. But we was young, so I don't remember. I was. Well, how old we was? 13, 14 years old?
No, boy, I was 16 when it started.
Man, you wasn't no fucking 16.
What is going on with y'all?
Boy, you wasn't.
05, I was 16 when the storm hit. I was 16
Oh, yeah, what you mean?
when the storm hit.
Yeah, I'm probably like 15.
And that's, if I was 16, was I 17?
I don't know, man. Let's do
Come on, let's do the math. I think I was 17 because once 06, yeah, I was 17. I was 17 when the storm hit.
Yeah, I graduated. Yeah. Oh, you're right. I was,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I was 16. I was 15. You're right. I was 15.
Yeah, I was 17 because once I remember I turned 18 when I was in Texas. That's when they started cutting up on what's it called, on YouTube, because that's when YouTube came out. You thinking about it? 04. Oh, 05 when oh, for sure 17. I was 17. Yeah.
I remember getting on the road. And it taking us a day to get to Lafayette. That fucking traffic was so wild.
Shit, we got the fast tail. The road was big clear.
Yeah.
Because
It took us
we
24
never late.
hours.
I know it took a lot of people a long time. And you know why it took us 24 hours? Because they ain't said it was mandatory till it was fucking late as fuck.
Yeah, last minute, yeah.
It was last minute. That's why the damn roads was flooded. I was 17 when the storm hit. It's not about
Yeah, I was.
It's not about I ain't like Texas. I liked home.
You're right. I was 16. I don't remember being that old.
Yeah, I don't know why people think it was so young. I was 17. I remember my 18th birthday in Texas. It was horrible. I'm like, not a bitch turned 18 in Texas. You know what we doing at 18? I was supposed to be in Key West.
Yeah, Key West was popping, boy.
Oh,
I remember Key West was popping that weekend. Fucking,
yes!
fucking
I was
Katrina.
in Key West that weekend.
Yeah, I remember that. I was in Key West too that weekend.
People like, all right, now the storm
Yeah,
coming
the storm
tonight.
coming. Yeah, and then look, I remember
night.
start getting a little windy out the
Yes.
bitch. I remember that
Yes.
for sure.
They're like, all right, now y'all out in Key West, but the
Man,
storm about to come.
I got a picture, son, and that's when that picture was.
I was for sure in Key West that weekend.
Mm-hmm. Cause we were playing by it, like boom, girl.
Everybody was playing by it. Nobody would have never thought fucking Katrina was gonna be a category 5 storm.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said, baby, I was street.
Oh,
Not
3?
3. Not 3. Not 3. I'm dying.